Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Latif and today I'm trying to explain why Conte's Inter couldn't be Conte's Chelsea. We know Conte's first seasons are famous and lastly he showed to us in 2016-17 season. He won Premier League title in his first season in the Premier League. Initially, his team is not good. His team drew against Man City in away, lost against Liverpool in home, and when they lost 3-0 against Arsenal in away, Conte talked to change some things. And he changed 4-2-3-1 formation with 3-4-3 formation. He backed up Oscar and Ivanovic, also gave a chance Moses and Marcos Alonso in first 11. Then they won 27 of the remaining 32 league matches. Also he managed to defeat Pep Guardiola's Manchester City both in the home and outside in the league. Now he is Inter's manager and all fans want to win league. Inter has not even won a trophy since the 2010-11 season. Now fans have hope because they have the king of the first seasons. Inter won first 6 league matches and everybody started to think, can they win league title in this season? Inter lost Perisic and Icardi but won Conte. In this season, Inter really want to win league title. They are in the champion race and they have a chance. But some factors affect Inter and Conte's team couldn't run to league title. In this video, I tried to explain why Inter couldn't dominate the league. Unlucky injuries. Inter won his first 6 league match and then they have a big match against Juventus. Inter lost match in their stadium and more important, they lost Sensi. Sensi was injured in 34 minutes and slowly Inter's sharpness was going down. Inter couldn't use him next 4 matches and when he improved recovery, again he was injured and he can't play next 6 matches. Of course this going down didn't happen slowly, but as a result, they lost their sharpness, because Sensi's role is very important for Inter. When they attack, a center midfielder comes to support the strikers as they attack, and Sensi was in this role and he could fulfill it. Sensi has the 5th highest place in Inter in XG stat this season with 1.7 and also he has the 5th highest place in Inter in goal with 0.37 and assist per 90 minutes stat with 0.25. When he was injured, Conte looked his other options for play in this role and he chose Vecino. Vecino is a great player. He knows how he can run in the penalty area and his physique is better than Sensi, but his technique is not as good as Sensi, and his tempo is not good enough for coming back to defense after support to attack. If we need to talk about Barella, his role is adding aggression and tempo to the team, also supporting strikers like Sensi or Vecino. And when he is supposed to attack, he can come back to defense because he has high tempo. When Barella was injured like Sensi, they couldn't use him 6 matches and they lost their tempo and aggressiveness. Barella has 28 tackles in the season Serie A and he won 19 tackles. In club, his place is 5th about these stats, behind 3 center backs and Brozovic. Also his place is 3rd in pressure set with 310. Conte played Gagliardini or Valero instead of Barella. If Valero played, they would have a high technique and extra game maker. And Valero is better than Barella about scoring goals. But also, they lost their aggressiveness and high tempo, and when opponent team started a counter-attack, he can't come back to defense like Barella. Whoever plays in this role, Conte wants high tempo and aggressiveness, and he also supports attack. Valero did 3rd matter but he couldn't do 1st and 2nd matters. If Gagliardini played, they would have a great physique player but they lost their aggressiveness and high tempo. Also, Gagliardini is such a slow player and Conte doesn't like him. If we talk about Asamoah, he was injured too early in the season and Conte couldn't use him. If he had not had an injury, perhaps there would be no left-wing problem at all. Asamoah played 8 league matches in the season and he produced 1.4 key pass per match. He is 5th about this stat in Inter. Also, about tackles per match stat, he has 7th place in his club with 1.3 and only one wingback's D'Ambrosio stat is better. In interception stat, he has 5th place in his club with 1.1 and no wingback is better about this stat. When Asamoah was injured, Conte played Biraghi for left wingback position and actually Biraghi's defensive stats and key pass per match stat is not worse than Asamoah. His key pass per match stat is only 0.1 worse, also his tackles per match stat is 0.2 worse and interceptions per match stat is 0.4 worse. So, seemingly no difference, but in the pitch, Biraghi's performance is not good. If you look dribbling per match stat, Asamoah has 1.5 dribbling per match stat and he is best in Inter. So, Asamoah could take the ball and move with the ball. he could do different things in left wing, but Biragi couldn't do it. Conte isn't Conte and great wingbacks. When Conte was Chelsea's manager in 2016-17 season, he used 3-4-3 formation, not 3-5-2 because he had Conte. 3-5-2 formation's weakness is sides. Opponent team can have an advantage in sides because your team has only one player in the sides. So, your wingbacks should be great players and have high tempo because they should support defense and forward. 3-4-3 formation's weakness is center. Opponent team can have an advantage center midfield because your team has two players in the center midfield. So, your midfielders should be able to play both sides of the game and their tempo should be high. Naturally, Conte preferred the 3-5-2 lineup in Inter. Maybe Barella could be effective like Conte, but he was young. Also, he bought Lukaku and he has two first-class strikers. But he has another problem, and the problem is wingbacks. I said if you prefer 3-5-2 formation, your wingbacks should be great players and support defense and forward. When Conte was in Chelsea, Moses gave him extra strength and Marcos Alonso gave him extra direct score contribution. In Inter, he usually used Candreva and Biragi for wingback positions, but Conte didn't like both of them. Candreva isn't great about defending and Biragi isn't great about attacking. In Chelsea, Moses isn't a natural wingback. Normally his position is right winger like Candreva, but Conte used him for a wingback. And Moses' defensive performance was enough. He won 42 tackles in Premier League and in Chelsea his place was third. If we compare Marcos Alonso with Biragi, his total shoot stat was 46, third in Chelsea, and scored 6 goals, 5th in Chelsea. In this season, Biragi's total shoot is only 4. In squad, his place is 70, and he hasn't scored a goal yet. So, last transfer window, he added to team Ashley Young and Victor Moses. Maybe, when coronavirus is gone, we see his wingbacks can be effective. Conte is not happy with his squad. When he was in Chelsea, he had 3 great goal scorers, Diego Costa, Eden Hazard and Pedro. They were meeting the team's need for goals. In Inter, he has 2 first-class strikers, Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez. But it's not enough for him. He needs one more player. Probably, firstly he elected Sensi for this third scorer, but when Sensi was injured, his plan went pear-shaped, and he couldn't find any players for this role. He booked Eriksen last transfer window, and maybe finally he can find his third man. I told about wingbacks. He has too many players for these positions. Candreva, Biragi, Asamoah, Lazaro, D'Ambrosio and Di Marco. Firstly he played Candreva in right wingback position, but then he didn't like his defensive abilities and then played D'Ambrosio, but he saw D'Ambrosio's abilities were not good for wingback position and again played Candreva. In left wing position, he played Asamoah but he injured 3 times in the season and he couldn't heal to play. So, Conte tried Biragi for left wing position but he didn't like him. When he was in Chelsea, he had more great players in his squad. He usually used Fabregas 16 times, Willian 19 times and Batshuayi 19 times for substitution. All season Willian scored 8 goals and he is fourth about this stat in Chelsea. Fabregas was best about assists with 12 assists in his club and scored 5 goals. Also Batshuayi scored 5 goals too. And now in Inter, he hasn't great squad like Chelsea team. His first 11 is good but he hasn't players who can take the match for him. If we have a look at Conte's substitutions in the season, he used Politano 9 times, Alex Sanchez 7 times and Valero 5 times. Politano hasn't any goals or assists and so Conte made him go on loan to Napoli last transfer window. Alex Sanchez scored only 1 goal and he had only 1 assist. Valero scored only 1 goal too. You can see the big difference. Strong opponents. Let's have a look at Conte's opponents in 2016-17 Premier League season. Pep Guardiola came to Manchester City and it was his first year in the Premier League, so he was adapting Premier League and designing his game plan. Manchester United wanted a great manager who could make them win Premier League title again, and they got in Jose Mourinho, but firstly, he had too many things to do in his team. Liverpool was going up, but they didn't have great defense, so they were too unbalanced. And still, they were in adapting process. Arsenal was going down every year and they couldn't find a solution. Only Pochettino's Tottenham could be a strong opponent and every year they were going up and developing their play, But players' abilities were not high level and they could be great opponents, but they couldn't stand until the end of the race. I mean, Conte was lucky in his first Chelsea season, so he could win Premier League title a little bit more easily. This season, his job is more difficult because he has two strong opponents, Juventus and Lazio. We know Juventus is one of the best teams for years. They have been winning the league since the 2011-12 season. Before this season, they changed manager and Sarri came to Juventus. Sarri is still trying to improve his game plan and this is an advantage for other teams, but they have a very powerful squad and they have a great status in Serie A. The most surprising factor is Lazio. They haven't enough great footballers, and if you compare teams about total market value, Lazio's place is 6th in Serie A. Their total market value is only €268.85 million. If you look at Inter's and Juventus' total market value, Inter's is €498.02 million and Juventus €553.23 million. But they have a great manager, Simone Inzaghi, and they have a great game plan. Last seasons, they were proving their play, but they were not a first-class team. But in this season, they are in the Champions race. Nobody hopes that, but this year they can win the title. So it's bad timing for Conte's Inter. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope this video can be useful for you. You can follow my Twitter and Instagram account and also my blog. May football be with you.